A formal letter, also called as business letters or professional letters, which is written in a very strict and specific format. Note this, it will include two components, the covering letter and biodata. You have to let them know in their letter that you have enclosed or along with this have attached a biodata. Hello and a very warm welcome to your prep school English classes. I'm your English teacher, Kshama. In this session today, we are going to undertake one of your writing skills, which is the formal letter writing. So in the formal letter writing, you have two components, which is the job application letter, which is formal, and the letter to the editor. So let's understand what are the formats, what are the practical examples, and what are the components included in it. So we are going to look at the formats and the things to keep in mind, as well as we are looking at a couple of practical examples as well. So without wasting any time, let's start right away. So what's a formal letter? A formal letter, also called as business letters or professional letters, which is written in a very strict and specific format. Whenever you're writing a letter to the editor or applying for a job, there is a format to it and it has to be followed in the same way, because for example, the ones who are hiring you or people who are, editor who is looking at it, they will know where to look at what, because it will be mentioned right exactly in that place. So it's very important you follow the format. Okay. So naturally, much more formal in style than informal and friendly letters. Reason to write are to apply for employment, the editor of the newspaper addressing a couple of issues and faced by various groups of people in different areas, to express your concerns while working in a professional setup, to provide official information across your workplace, to order goods, to apply for employment. So order goods and all those are business kind of letters. Although the format is pretty similar, there are little changes here and there. So let's look at them, shall we? So usually applying for employment as well, always start with a short introduction, whether the applicant is writing in response to the reference of the advertisement that was made by the employing agency. So found online in the newspaper, state the age, education, experience of the applicant. So these are the things that will be included in the job application. Okay. Provide the employer with genuine expression of, you would be eagerly waiting to for their response or something like that will also be included. What are your qualifications? How are you eligible for this particular job? You have to let them know, isn't it? That's what you are informing them through this formal letter. Also furnish references so that if you give references, it will be easy for this employer to contact them, get to know more about you, better about you, and which will also increase your chances of getting hired. So idea of kind of employee that you are, it will give them that idea. So job application, note this, it will include two components, the covering letter and biodata. Let's look at the covering letter first and then the biodata. Okay. Now, the covering letter will include these things, the letter that you're writing to them. First up, the sender's address, your house address, and at the end, you will write about the date. Then your house address will include what your house number, the area, and the city that you live in, right? Leave a line space and then you start the date. Then another line space and you start with the receiver's address. Who are you writing this letter to? It is addressed to whom? The manager of certain company, the place of their place, you have to write that. Then comes the subject and salutation. So this can be written vice versa as well. So you can write the salutation first, sir, madam, okay. After that, you can write the subject, or you can write the, subject first and then the salutations can also come. So there are chances of having vice versa over here. Then you leave a line space and start with the body of the letter from the margin. What will the body of the letter include? It will include, it is here, reference, in reference to the advertisement with regard to the above mentioned topic, in reference to the advertisement that I saw in. Where did you see the advertisement? There should have been some reference that you got or some source where you got the information about their job. It will help them in future courses as well. So write in reference to your advertisement, where you saw, what did you see, that you have to write. You are applying for the post of certain post that is mentioned, conveying suitability for the position, applying for the post of teacher, for example. So in reference to the advertisement in the Hindu, dated so-and-so date, you should write. Then I am applying for the post of English teacher, English lecturer. And since I think I have the ability to transact better, communicate better, be an effective teacher, I am suitable for this position. You should express all those things. Then expressing eagerness to work and the availability in regard to how, when and how they can communicate or get back to you. So how are you suitable for this place with a lot of, help yourself stand out there in the letter by describing yourself and your work, not your personal preferences, but your work. How are you as a professionalist, right? Then express your eagerness. How would you work if you're given the chance to work? How will you work? Okay. What is it that they can look forward to when they choose you, and why do they have to choose you? Then the availability. You will be available in so and so this thing to contact for them to get back. That you have to express in the body of the letter. So A is the sender's address. B is the date of when you are writing this letter to this employer. C is the receiver's address. D and E is your subject and salutation, vice versa. F is the body of the letter, and G is your complimentary close. Okay, so you'll largely accepted one is yours truly for job application and letter to the editor. Both of these cases, letter to the editor and letter of application, job application, you can write yours truly in the complimentary closure. Then if it is a business letter, you write yours sincerely. You're doing a business with this person, so you write yours sincerely. So that's A, sender's address, B, date, C, receiver's address, salutation, and subject, body of the letter, closure. Okay, this is pretty similar to the actual letter that you have been, leave letter or anything like that sort that you have been writing. However, biodata is something that is additional as well. Let's look at an example after this. So biodata will include A, profile of self, personal details, name, date of birth, email ID, number, all of these things will be included in the personal data that they've asked for, or if not, you have to include your personal data, right, which is appropriate. Then educational qualification include whatever, if they have asked, for example, for the teaching, if they have asked masters and bachelors of education is compulsory, masters in education is compulsory, then you must include these things. If you have had educational qualifications in these fields or areas, it is a must that you include it. So it usually starts from your secondary or 10th standard. From there, you'll start putting up all your details. So it can go in the chronological order, 10th, 12th degree, masters, or you can go in the reverse chronological order as well. So you'll have to mention the university or the board under which you do. You have to make a column over here in the educational qualification. You'll have to make columns. I'll show you how to make the column. So it will include the name of the examination, year, board or university, then the percentage or the grade that you scored. These are the 4 mandatory things that are basic in any job application. Then comes the work experience or experiences, if relevant, if they have asked for it. If you have any, then it is a must that you express it. Any other details, AOD, skills that you have, hobbies that you have, languages that you know, that you can speak of, these things can be of use, right? If you have good communication skills, social adaptability, all of these things can be mentioned over here. What are your strengths? Then if you have references from the universities that you studied, and if you have professors who have referred you, who are ready to refer you over here, or the previous company who's ready to, talk to you into this job, so that can be mentioned over here. Let's look at an example without wasting any time. So in the biodata, you have A, personal or profile of the self, B, educational qualification, C, experience, any other details, that is D, and then E, you have references. This comes in the biodata. So whenever you are asked a job application letter, covering letter and biodata is a must. These are the 2 things that are incorporated in them. So let's look at an example. Draft an application for the post of an assistant director in the Johar House, offices 5-6, Diali Hill, Mumbai 40021. In response to their advertisement that appeared in the Times of India dated 1st August year, prepare a biodata to be enclosed. You are Nipun or Aparna. Okay, so I hope, let's see, look at an example over here. I think you did not see after the enclosure, we missed out on the name, the signature, name, and there will be something called as ENCL. ENCL is nothing but enclosure. You have to let them know in their letter that you have enclosed, or along with this have attached a biodata. So yours faithfully, and then you'll write your signature, name, full name in caps, then enclosure. You don't have to write the whole word, you write ENCL, which is biodata. Biodata is your enclosure. If you have any other enclosures, for example, in the future course, if you're applying, if you have, work experience letters or anything, if you have enclosed that as well, then you'll have to list it over here. But a biodata is a mandatory thing. It has to be enclosed and you'll have to write ENCL. Sorry that it was not there in the format, but name, signature, name and enclosure. So write it that way. Signature, name and enclosure. Okay, let's look at this example. First one, sender's address is A. Raman Villa, 23 Raman Villa, Racecourse Road, Bhopal. Sender's address is done. One line space, you come to this one. So there is date, month and year. That is done. That is B, date. Remember? So this is the receiver's address. What was the receiver's address that was given in the question? It is Milli Johar, the Johar House Offices, Diali Hill, Mumbai. That is the receiver's address. That is also done. Now over here we can swap with these two things, right? So this is D, subject. E is salutation, sir. What's the subject? Application for the post of assistant director. Subject is very crisp and clear. Then after your salutation, you have come to the body of the letter. In the body of the letter, what is the first thing that we had to do? So let's have again 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. Response to your advertisement. You're saying, you're referring where was this that you got to know the information. Where did you get to know about this information? That's the first thing. Okay. So in response to your advertisement in the Times of India, dated, you have to write the date as well, as I told you. So where did it appear? That's 2. Let's keep it 2. Okay. Times of India, date is also done. I wish to be considered. Now your suitability for the job, let's keep it as 3, shall we? So considered for the position mentioned above. I feel my qualifications and experience are good to enable me to discharge my duties. I attach herewith attested copies of my certificates and my biodata. If given a chance, how are you going to prove yourself? That could be 4. Okay. Then since you have put enclosed over here, it is understood that you have attached your biodata. Otherwise, you can also write whatever the documents that was required or asked for. I have actually attested it. So kindly find it. Attach here with attested copies. If given a chance, I may assure you, sir, that I shall spare no pains in delivering of my duty honestly and devotedly. So this person is describing as to how he is going to bring out the best of his abilities if given a chance. Okay. So there'll be no problem from my end, he's saying. So I will certainly win the confidence of my superiors. Thank you. So thank you is there. We'll keep it as G. Then you'll have yours faithfully, H and I. Let's keep I as a whole thing. So it is thank you. You have thanked them and yours faithfully, closure, then signature, name, enclosure, ENCL dot, which is the biodata that has been enclosed along with this letter. I hope this is clear. Moving forward to the biodata. What does your biodata include? So your name, first thing, father's name, address, date of birth, email ID. These are the things that we have included, mandatory things or the basic things. Whenever you write about your, yourself, your personal introduction. So you say your name, your father's name, mobile number, if it is asked for, or email ID, professional communication. How are they going to contact you? Through this email ID. So email ID has been given, address is given if it is going to be sent, something is going to be sent to you. So there's address, there's date of birth, to know how old you are and what would be your psychological maturity and mental maturity, which would be appropriate or not for the job that you're undertaking. So there is name, father's name, address, date of birth, email ID. Then comes what? This was your A, and B is your educational qualification. I told you there should be a table. Let's see what this table includes. This includes name of the exam, basic, college, board or university. Name of the college you can write, board you can write, otherwise university you can mention. Year in which you passed out and what was the percentage or the grade that you secured. So there are a couple of examples. Now this person has gone in the proper chronological order. Secondary, senior secondary and BFA. Okay. The film course that was required for the place of the assistant director, that person has finished it and hence it has been mentioned. So you see the board that is mentioned, place is mentioned here also. This is the university that is mentioned, here the board is mentioned, and years in which the person has finished their college school and what is the percentage or the grade that they have achieved. So this comes under your educational qualification. Name of the exam, university board or college, name of the college, year and marks secured. If they have asked for any other additional information with regard to the educational qualification, it can be added over here. However, this is your ideal format. Then it doesn't finish over here. You'll also have to add work experience if you have, but this person is a fresher. So if you are also a fresher and I am also a fresher, then you will start with fresher with scholarship in filmmaking and direction. Now, although a fresher, this person has smartly added the scholarship he or she had gained when they were doing the course or aftermath of the course. So if you're a fresher and if you have something like this, which will add, feathers to this hat of your job application of yours, then you can add it. Okay. Later on, the skill, this comes under AOD, right? Any other detail that you have to add. This comes after the educational qualification. Your work experience, mandatory, very important. And skills, hobbies, languages known, strengths, what are there, and references. Reference is your last part, isn't it? So, this is how it goes. Multitasking, camera handling are the skills of this person. Hobbies, reading and photography. Photography relates to this field that he or she is applying to. So, it's a smart move, isn't it? Then, hobbies are done. Languages known, language, English, Hindi, Marathi. So, if you know English, that is good. You'll be able to communicate with lot many people. Marathi, Hindi, it'll be useful as well. Okay. Then, strengths, optimistic worker with excellent social adaptability. Good way to put it across, crisp, and he has not gone and explained it in a paragraph or something. You need to keep it short. The more shorter it is, it will catch the viewer's eyes very quickly. If you have kept it prolonged and everything, nobody has time and energy to put it into your job application and, keep on reading it. So the reference is from there. Mr. R.S. Agarwal, the director himself, his contact number has been given to approach him. It's not just that his name is enough. If only his name is given, how will the employer contact him? So give them a mail ID or the contact number that will help them ease their way into contacting this person. So that's how it is. Let's look at this one more time. Okay. Quickly go back and look at it one more time along with this thing. This is the format. This is the example of the letter. Clear? Moving forward to the second type in the formal letter, another kind of letter that you might be asked to write is the letter to the editor. So when do you write a letter to the editor? You write a letter to the editor because you want your concern to be heard, something related to the public, not your personal concern, something related in the public arena. If you want to bring it to people's attention, you can take the help of this editor. If you bring it to his or her attention, the editor will work on this story and it will be published, right? So in such social issues or social situations, these articles will be, given, or all you have to do is inform them about it. So letter to the editor, always address these letters as letter to the editor and end with yours faithfully or yours truly. Then these are letters that express concerns that should be addressed or highlighted and brought into the attention of the higher authorities. Then these letters should be professional and authentic and not personal at all. So it should be formal. Then no newspaper would publish anonymous letters. So make sure you're writing your name. So nobody will accept an anonymous letter because they would not have any ground basis. They wouldn't know if somebody has sent it, in order to fool around or something. Nobody's ready to be fooled. Hence, write your name. Make sure you're writing a letter for a cause. First up, make sure that you're, totally aware of the situation and, you really are concerned and worried about this whole thing. And that's the reason you want to bring it to people's attention. And provide your name and address correctly. And look at one example of how your business letter looks like if only this is given. Usually, the letters that are given are letter to the editor and job application. But this is an example of the business letter if only it is asked. Pretty similar format. A, the sender's address. Okay. B, date. C is the receiver's address. Subject. And dear sir. Okay. So you see dear sir because you're trying to establish a business with him. Hence, okay, this only happens in case of the business letter. And F, you see the body of the letter. I have received so many books. So business, it depends on you. On a formal note, you can start off, this is the books that I have received and I would want to buy some more books on so and so date. last week I received this one, these were the books, they were in perfect condition, how are they delivered, were they delivered in bad condition, good condition? Okay, so it is your business letter. If only you have sent something, you can say, I have sent so many books last week, I hope they have been delivered in the right condition and there was no problem with the books, and hope it reached on time. If only there was any difficulty, you let me know. So you can write it that way if you're writing it from this end. Delivered on time, owing to the great deal of service rendered, I would like to order some more books. So this person is expressing the fact that he would like to continue the business or want to do more. So what is it that they have made a table of the books that are required, the authors, and the number of copies that are required. If only you write it in the entire passage, it will be difficult to gauge or take out all these information, right? So if you write it like this, it is easy to make out what are the books that you want, how many copies of it, who's the author. So it makes the job easier. Okay, so given below is a list of books that I would like to purchase, and you'll be grateful, express your gratefulness. I shall be grateful if you could send me the copies of these books mentioned by VPP as early as possible to the address given. Then thanking in advance, because if only this was the end of your this thing and you're done with it, you would have said thank you and everything, but they have asked for another favor, another, exchange of things, right? So hence, thank you in advance. It is obvious that the person is going to send you the books. So thank you in advance. Yours faithfully. Signature, Javed, and what is his position that comes at the end. Manager, Read More Bookstore. So most of the times, all that you'd be asked is A, job application, B, your letter to the editor. So if only you would want to keep this in mind, keep this in mind as well. It is pretty similar. The format is pretty similar. However, you write in this case, you'll write yours sincerely or yours faithfully, yours truly is generally largely accepted. So on that note, I hope you have understood letter, job application, formal letters. These are the formal kinds of letters. Job application. The second one was your letter to the editor, and third one was your business letter. If only in future you are able to use any of these letters, and if the information comes handy, I'd be the happiest of all. On that note, I'll see you all come up with a lot of doubts if you have any. Otherwise, I'll see you all. Thank you.